Find rates, linear representations. The graph of the function is shown on the coordinate plane below. Identify the rate of change in the function. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and take this graph. I'm going to put it in my Smart Slate so you can kind of visually see what I'll be describing. So the nice thing about it is when we have a graph, all you need to do is identify 2 points. I'm going to start with this. This is actually our y-intercept, although we don't have to in this. All we have to do is find our m. And then I'm just going to go ahead and travel down this line. That looks close, but that's not exactly it. And it looks like the next value I get is actually right here. So once we have our 2 ordered pairs, what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and I am either going to go either to the right and then down, or I can go down and to the right. It doesn't matter which way you go. I typically like doing slope as rise over run, so I typically, I've always gotten into the habit of start by going up or down first. Okay, so I actually went down, and now I'm going to move to the right. So I'm going to switch back over to red. Now, as far as the work, all you have to do to write down on your sheet of paper is m is equal to, and then just tell me what it is. So in this case, I went down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I go down, notice that 4, 3, 2, 1 numbers are getting smaller. So that's going to be a -5 for my rise. And then I'll move to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my slope is -5/4. And again, notice that I did move, when I move to the right on my x-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., numbers get bigger. And that's pretty much it. So write down m equals -5/4, and you're good to go. So let's see. -5/4. Let's see what Delta Math says. Green check mark is good. Red X. And notice they did the same thing I did. But again, all you have to write down is m equals -5/4. You don't have to draw this. Again, I drew this just to kind of show you what's happening. All right, so the next question. I like this one, and I chose this. Just to let you know that I'm going to start with my b value right here. That's my y-intercept. And then typically I like moving to the right, but I don't think that's an exact intersection of 1, 6. So what instead, I'm just going to move to the left, and then I'm going to put a dot when I know that for sure. I know that for sure. So I chose this one because in this case, it's kind of you're going from right to left. Just be aware that wherever the line is, you've got to come up with the points for it. So rise over run, I'm going to start with the point on the left, and it looks like I'm going to go up, and then I'm going to move to the right. So let's see. If I go up, that's going to be a positive, so I went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so that's +7, and then I went to the right 1, 2, 3, 4. So the part we write down is simply m is equal to 7/4, and we will box that. And let's plug it in there. Let's put 7/4. And we got it. And so that's pretty much the video for the first set. At this point, I've gone on to the next question, which is dealing with equations. If you would prefer to just pause the video and do all the equations that look like this when you're given the graph, I think that's like the first 4 questions. Go for it. And then come back to the video, or you can watch the video now. Just finish off. So finding rates, linear representations, where I'm going to give you a couple examples for equations. So from Google Classroom, write down the equation. So I'm going to write y equals -7/4x plus 1. Identify the slope, and our slope, remember in this type of an equation that the equation is y equals mx plus b. So whatever this value is right here in front of the x, that's our m. So in this case, my m, or my slope, is simply -7/4. So I'm just going to write m equals -7/4. Write down the equation, circle the slope, and then write m equals -7/4, and that's all you have to do for this. Pretty easy. -7/4. We got it. I think that's pretty easy for you. Let's go to the last set. Our last type of example we'll need for today is dealing with a table of values. The table below represents a linear function. Identify the rate of change of the function. So we did do this on the last couple days, so I'm just going to review with you. So our formula for slope is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Out of this table of values, we simply have to identify 2 points and plug them into the formula. So I'm going to put in the subtract signs. I'm going to use the first 2 points. I'm actually going to put negative 8 over 4 to start. Negative 8 over 4, and then I'm going to put negative 11 over 6. So notice that negative 11 is going to be changed to a positive 11. And then the y value the x value that goes with that y is going to be 6. So over here we have negative 8 plus 11, which is 3, and then 4 minus 6 is negative 2. So I'm going to just put in my m is equal to negative 3 over 2. And that's it. So it's kind of like what we did earlier in the week, except that all we have to do is find our slope. Good to go. And that's pretty much it. That kind of outlines what we're doing in today's lesson. We're just emphasizing different type of slope by either looking at a graph, looking at an equation, or looking at a table. And then the homework will drop off. You've got a couple of review questions from what we did earlier in the week. But that's it. Hopefully you found this helpful.